Hello everyone, I'm Barry Page and this is Legacy Money. If you're joining me for the first time or you've been on board for a little while, this is going to be a great episode. We're going to discuss taxes, inflation. So stick with me, we'll be right back. My mission is simple, to help you protect your family and keep more of your money. I'm here to help level the playing field for families and those who seek the truth. There's always a new way to make money, but at the end of the day, it's your family's security and your legacy that matter. And I promise to help you protect what's really important to you. Legacy Money starts now. Every week I try to bring pertinent information, but I've been noticeably absent, so I apologize in advance. My goal is to make time to bring you these important videos, but sometimes I get caught up in the rat race myself. So it is my goal to bring you videos weekly, so I need your help. Please help me in spreading the good news, what I call the gospel about money. And smash that subscribe button and give me a thumbs up if you like what you see. In this video, I'm going to talk about the problems we face with taxes and inflation, but also what you can do. When I first got into this business, the financial services business, I was told there's two things that you never talk about: politics and religion. Well, I can't do that because I know, and I feel it is my duty to share the truth, about money. I've also been told that about other people in the business that I know too much, that I don't need to share all this information. Well, I have to. Well, I don't know about knowing too much either because I am a learner. I love to learn, I love to read, and I merely share what I've learned with others. I profess to you, if you don't know or see the connection, then just follow along. I'll help sort it all out for you. First, faith is God-given. And if we want insight into our future, we need only to look at our past, at our history. Thus, if we want to know the truth, we need to know God's Word. Number two, the state is man-made. Government policies have to be paid for, and they will not save you. Taxes are a government-created animal. Your income, your finances are taxable. So if you want to be more efficient in creating wealth, we just need to understand some simple strategies to help us optimize our efforts. You understand that government politicians do not create anything. They can only tax the citizens via the IRS and spend the money in an effort to pacify us. This is why we have to discuss politics. Taxes, along with the Federal Reserve creating money, which itself is inflation, the stealth tax. Let's start there. Inflation, or the Fed's misdiagnosis, calling it transitory. And now we have more spending, just as rates were set to rise. And maybe you heard about Fed Chairman Jerome Powell's statement. Powell told the U.S. House of Representatives Financial Services Committee that the economic outlook had become highly uncertain and that the Fed wanted to proceed carefully as it shifts monetary policy in an already complicated situation. Imagine that. Powell also suggested that quantitative easing should be coming in the next 2 to 4 meetings, with bonds allowed to roll off in an organic manner, as opposed to selling securities into the markets. Now let's catch up. Just this week, the Congress passed a $1.5 trillion bill in the night. Where will this money come from? But it's for the greater good. We all have to do our part so we can feel like good humanitarians. It's a humanitarian effort. You probably noticed that the price of goods have been going up, and it costs more now at the grocery store and the gas pump. The February 2022 numbers were just released, and the CPI is growing at a whopping 7.9%. Now that's just February. And if you think that's bad, Wait till you see what's coming. It's all politics. Remember what happened after the 2008 financial crisis? The Fed printed money, quantitative easing. They expanded their purchases of mortgage-backed securities, which in turn pushed up housing costs, rents, inflation. Later, in 2010-11, Congress pushed back, and they decided to raid the Fed's profit. They established the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, which they later used in 2015 to help fund a highway bill. You see how that works? Members of Congress have even advocated using Fed profits to fund public transportation and the arts. Now Powell and the Fed are poised to impose climate change stress tests to evaluate banks' risk exposure. You may have heard about some of these new plans. ESG, environmental, social governance. Can you imagine having a social credit score? It's coming. Why not just let the insurance underwriters and the markets do this? Do we really need government embedded that deep into our lives? You see, it's all a shell game. Meanwhile, ordinary families are getting crushed with higher prices, taxes, inflation, and government regulation. Enough bad news. Now, this program is about providing solutions. Legacy Money wants to help you take control of your finances so you'll never have to depend on government plans or the big banks ever again. We want to provide hope, some light. Let's talk about what's really important to us, our faith and our family. If we start there, we can have hope. There is light at the end of the tunnel. We just have to look for it. We have to protect our God-given rights, not some carrot that the state has dangled out there to use us, manipulate us, and control us. It should be obvious that they're trying to destroy the family. Lockdowns and environmental and social scores. Think what that's doing to our families. Think about what's really going on. We need shelter. We need food. They know that. They're trying to control these things. We need money or a means to trade. They control that. We've taken these things for granted. We've been spoiled with luxuries, and we've been enslaved by a tyrannical regime. So here's something I want to offer you. There's a lot of talk recently about DeFi, decentralized finance. It's the reason Bitcoin and other digital assets have grown in popularity. But the Fed is wise to the game, and they're fighting back. Just this week, Biden passed an executive order for crypto guidelines, all to help you, to protect you, of course. The order directs the Treasury Department to develop guidelines for Americans trading and using cryptocurrencies and aims to help them avoid fraud or market volatility. Fraud and market volatility? Give me a break. Here's the good news. There's a better way to decentralize your finances. And it's been around for centuries, so it's safe and secure. Like my mentor Nelson Nash used to say, if you think about what's going on, you'll know what to do. Nelson Nash created the infinite banking concept decades ago. He had 4 rules, and the 4th rule was don't do business with banks. See, we can stop the nonsense. We can cut them off. By practicing private, family banking, we can take back control and take away their power. Folks that are much smarter than I am, and I'm talking Austrian economists and PhDs, theorized that it would only take about 10% of the population to overturn the Fed and their shenanigans. Furthermore, we can look into the future. We can take control of our finances, become responsible and self-reliant. Government plans are always a trap. They never do what they're intended to do. They never shrink, they only grow. They use fear tactics to help convince us that only they can solve our problems. And don't forget the media. You've probably even heard the ads. Buy gold in your IRA. Bitcoin, self-directed IRAs. How crazy is that? But people are lining up. If you want to move away from a central bank, why would you lock your assets up in a government plan. People buy these assets to hide them and hide their profits from the government. Just some food for thought. The good news is you can take control of your finances and keep your money in the family. Using the qualities built into dividend-paying participating life insurance, you can effectively move your wealth off the grid. It's been around for centuries, but few people know the powers of life insurance. But the wealthy know, and they own lots of it. Even the banks own billions of dollars in cash value life insurance. It's called BOLI, bank-owned life insurance. Life insurance is typically tax-free when structured correctly. And it's a private contract. So in most states, it's hidden from predators and thieves. So I'll close with 3 steps that you can take now to free yourself from the slavery. If not, brace yourself to use their word. Number 1, get your cash out of the markets and away from the big banks. At a minimum, the principal or the cost basis. It's important to have some cash on hand. Use a local bank or a credit union for convenience and to store your additional cash flows. Number 2, stop funding their shenanigans. Opt out of monthly plans that directly fund woke institutions that hate the family. Start paying attention to where you spend your money. Number 3, pay yourself first and invest in you and your family. You can do this with properly structured life insurance. You'll want to work with an authorized IBC infinite banking practitioner. Use your personal finances to grow your wealth. That's it for today. Be sure to leave your questions and comments below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.